Sunday is the day of rest, but for me, Sunday is the day, or at least a small part of it, is the day where you win the week. And this week's episode is all about how you can do that. Hi, it's Emma Mills here and welcome to episode 267 of My TV. I help business owners go from that early stage of solopreneur through the messy middle of creating a team and leveraging their time. And this week's episode is so pertinent to it, it should be illegal because it's all about winning the week. And I am obsessed with how you win the week, why you should win the week, how you can win the week better. Because I know it's the precursor to all of the good stuff. Like literally, the mantra I have in my head is that if I just win the week 52 times of the year, I will achieve my goals and everything I want in life. And you know, at the beginning of any year predominantly is the time when people think, oh, what do I want to achieve in 2024? And I love to dream up big goals, and some people won't because it will be too overwhelming and they think that they can't achieve them. But with any goal, whether it can be done in a year or 2 years or whatever the goal might be, all we need to do is reverse engineer it backwards and plan in the steps and the actions of how to get it done. And if we reverse engineer anything backwards, then that just boils down to, what am I doing this week? What am I doing today? Like, we just put it on the micro basis. Like, all I need to think about is, at the beginning of the week, what have I planned in and what am I going to get done on Monday? And I don't need to overwhelm myself with all the things that need to get done at some point. I just need to think about, I'm just going to move this one thing forward today and then everything's going to be good. Because there are 52 weeks in the year. And if you have a bad week, do you actually know that that is just under 2% of the year? So it doesn't matter if you have last week where, you know, you were off track, nothing got done. It's not something to berate yourself about or to feel down about, because you can just get back on track the following week and win it. And today's episode is about that, and why Sunday specifically for me is the kickstart to it all. And so, dedicated to this topic, I've started a new newsletter, which I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. I did also say in that episode about Beehive that I would say where I got to. And after 10 days of promoting the new newsletter, I'm up to 106 subscribers, which I'm pretty buzzed about. So that's where I've got to in like 10 days. Anyhow, this new newsletter is dedicated to this very topic because I just think it's so important. And I want to research, test, implement myself to understand what like a really great week looks like, how I set myself up for that, what can I do to make sure that I get stuff done, but also most importantly, that I enjoy the week. Like, I enjoy what I have planned in, what I am doing. I've made it a week that I want to be a part of and dive right into. And Sunday for me is the absolute game changer, whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60. I'll be honest, the weekend just gone, I dedicated nearly all of the morning to this, which you don't need to do at all. But the time you take on a Sunday is going to drastically change how the rest of the week unfolds for you. And for me, it's just about a couple of very key things. It's about just looking ahead at the calendar and seeing what's already in there, what you might need to change, what you might need to pull back from. You know, you can book meetings and calls and things weeks in advance. When that week comes around, you can actually see how completely chocker it is. And it might be on a Sunday, a really good thing to do is look at, do you know what, I actually don't really need to be in that. I can claim an hour back, or I can push that meeting back. It's not that important to me and my goals right now. Like, I do that every Sunday. I look at actually, what can I cancel or claim back or push back? Because what I really value is having the time to do the proper work. And so I always look ahead. I plan on a Sunday the 3 things that I want to get done that week. I don't do any more than that. often I will be working on more things than that, but I've got 3 key things that I agree with myself. Like, I make a commitment to myself that if by the end of Friday I have completed those 3 things, I am good. Like, that is brilliant. That is what I am focusing on. So I plan my top 3 things. I announce to my PA, my boyfriend, or my team, like whoever is most motivational for you or can help push you things forwards. I email my PA Bex on a Sunday night or a Monday morning to say, these are my top, just an email, 3 goals, subject is 3 goals, and then 3 bullet points. This is what I must get done this week. So she's aware, because if other people are aware, they can help you forwards. So I plan, I announce, I look ahead, I look at the calendar to see what I can cancel, reschedule, duck out of, tell my team that actually you guys are all good without me. I love claiming back time. It is a hobby of mine to see how much time I can get back to myself, because I would rather have that. And then I look at the focus time. So after I've looked what time I can claim back, I make sure that there is focus time in there. Monday to Friday, I aim for, to be honest, half days. So up to say like 11 a.m, 12 p.m, I want to keep clear. I know that's not possible for everyone. It's not always possible for me. Sometimes I'll have a busy day and then have a full day the next day, but I make sure that there's really good chunks of focus time, because otherwise you will move from one thing to another. You never get time to properly follow up. You never get time to do the work that you talked about doing in the meeting. Then you start to feel behind and overwhelmed. What you need is actually really good, clear focus time in the diary. So with those things, my planning, my announcing to my PA, my looking ahead, and my focus time, like with those 4 things, whether you spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes or longer, I shut my laptop after that, or if you use a journal or a notepad, and I feel good. I feel like I know that this week's prep for success. I know what I want to achieve. I know when I've got the time planned in to achieve it. I don't go into it on a Monday morning, opening it and then looking at my calendar and thinking, wow, gosh, well, that's quite hectic, isn't it? That's the complete opposite of what you want. So I just wanted my TV this week to be a reminder of how, and I know it's different for everyone, and maybe it's a Saturday for you, maybe it's difficult to get time to yourself, maybe it's getting up just extra early on a Monday and just clawing some silent time back when nobody can get hold of you and doing it then. I appreciate that not everybody's lives are the same and their time commitments, but having some complete focus time just to plan the week is honestly, it will move you forwards so much quicker, and you'll be so much less stressed and overwhelmed. And the last thing that I think anybody wants to do is lurch into the week being reactive, because my mantra is that reactive entrepreneurs are unhappy ones. They really are. Like, there is no satisfaction in constantly solving things that immediately come up. Forward planning, being proactive, is where all the good stuff happens, and by just taking a bit of time on a Sunday, then that can happen for you too. And if you would love to have more like weapons at your disposal, how are you going to make the week really good, then sign up to my newsletter. I'll pop the link in there, because it is just dedicated to that. It is just dedicated to how do I make this week as bloody good as I possibly can, working on the right things that are important to me, my business, my family. So I will leave you with that. I hope it helps you to get your head out of the dirt and into the clouds. And I will see you next week for episode 268. See you then. Bye-bye.